The most improbable championship reunion in NBA history might be about to materialize right in front of our eyes, and the franchise chaos unfolding in Dallas could hand the Lakers the exact piece they never should have lost in the first place. Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, your most trusted destination for breaking news, exclusive insights, and comprehensive coverage of everything happening with our beloved Los Angeles Lakers. I'm delivering critical information today about a developing situation involving one of the most dominant big men in basketball, details about organizational turmoil in another franchise that's creating unprecedented opportunities, and analysis of how the Lakers could capitalize on this chaos to strengthen their championship core in ways that seemed impossible just weeks ago. Make sure you're subscribed right now and hit that notification bell, because what I'm about to reveal could fundamentally alter the Lakers' trajectory for the rest of this season and beyond. Something extraordinary is happening across the league that Lakers fans need to understand in its entirety before we get to the implications for our franchise. The Dallas Mavericks are experiencing organizational meltdown on a scale rarely seen in professional sports. They just fired their general manager, Nico Harrison, and the circumstances surrounding his dismissal reveal dysfunction so severe that it's created ripple effects throughout the entire NBA landscape. Harrison's termination wasn't about missing the playoffs or underperforming expectations. It was about a single decision so catastrophic, so universally criticized, that it cost him his job and potentially set the Mavericks franchise back half a decade. The decision I'm referring to is the trade that sent Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers. Yes, you heard that correctly. In what will be remembered as one of the most lopsided trades in NBA history, Dallas moved their generational superstar, the player they built their entire franchise around, the 25-year-old who was averaging triple-doubles and leading them deep into playoff runs. The return they received was substantial on paper, headlined by a former champion and perennial all-star, but the execution and aftermath of that trade have been so disastrous that it triggered complete organizational restructuring in Dallas. Mark Cuban, who sold majority ownership but retained minority stake and advisory role, was reportedly blindsided by the Doncic trade. That detail alone tells you everything about how Harrison operated and why his tenure ended so abruptly. When minority owners are being kept in the dark about franchise-altering decisions involving your best player, when the trade itself generates universal criticism from analysts and fans alike, when the on-court results immediately validate everyone's worst fears about the deal, then termination becomes inevitable. The Mavericks are now being run by committee with Cuban having significantly more input than he did under Harrison, and their new mandate is crystal clear: fix this mess as quickly as possible. Here's where this story connects directly to the Lakers, and why every fan wearing purple and gold should be paying extremely close attention to what happens next in Dallas. The centerpiece of what the Mavericks received in the Doncic trade, the player who was supposed to justify giving up a generational talent, is now officially available. Dallas is exploring the trade market for him ahead of the February deadline, and the Lakers are positioned as the most logical destination for his services. The player I'm talking about has championship pedigree, elite two-way ability, and history with the Lakers organization that makes this potential reunion one of the most compelling storylines of the entire season. Before I reveal exactly who we're discussing, let me give you the complete context of why this situation has developed and why it represents such a massive opportunity for Los Angeles. The Mavericks thought they were getting a win-now centerpiece who would pair with Kyrie Irving and keep them competitive in the Western Conference. Instead, they got a player who's battled injury concerns, who hasn't fit their system effectively, and whose presence hasn't come close to replacing what they lost when Doncic left for L.A. Dallas is now pivoting toward rebuild mode around their #1 overall pick, Cooper Flagg, which means their expensive veterans no longer align with their timeline. They need to create cap space, accumulate assets, and reset their entire organizational direction. The public messaging from Dallas has been contradictory, which is exactly what you'd expect from a franchise trying to maintain negotiating leverage while exploring trades. Cuban told media outlets that they won't be trading this player, that they want to try to win, but reporting from credible sources indicates the organization is absolutely exploring the market for him. That contradiction isn't surprising. If the rest of the league believes Dallas is desperate to move this player, they'll struggle to get adequate return. The Mavericks are trying to negotiate from strength even though everyone can see they're in a position of weakness. The challenge Dallas faces is that there's no chance they get back anything close to what they gave up to acquire this player in the first place. At this point, the Doncic trade is being treated as a sunk cost. They can't hold a potential deal to that impossible standard, and if they go in with realistic expectations, then a trade can absolutely get done. But they'll still want to maximize their return, which means doing their best to create competition among interested teams and driving up the price as much as possible under the circumstances. The player will eventually need to return to the floor and demonstrate he's still the all-star caliber performer he's been throughout his career. His latest injury, a calf strain that's kept him out multiple weeks, has raised concerns among teams that might be interested in acquiring him. Given his injury history over the years, front offices will have legitimate questions about giving up significant assets to bring in a 32-year-old with documented durability issues. But for teams with championship windows open right now, for organizations that need an elite big man to compete for titles, those concerns become calculated risks worth taking. So let me reveal exactly who we're talking about and why this matters so profoundly for the Lakers. The player Dallas is exploring trading. The centerpiece they received for Luka Doncic, the veteran who could be on the move before the February deadline, is Anthony Davis. And the potential of AD returning to the Los Angeles Lakers, of reuniting with LeBron James, of finishing what they started when they won the championship together, represents one of the most significant opportunities the franchise has had in years. Think about what Anthony Davis means to this Lakers organization. He was the co-star alongside LeBron during our championship run. He's one of the most talented two-way big men in NBA history when healthy. He has elite defensive versatility, the ability to protect the rim and switch onto perimeter players. He can score from all three levels offensively, stretch the floor with his shooting, dominate in the post, and finish lobs in pick-and-roll actions. The Lakers never wanted to lose Davis in the first place, and now there's a legitimate path to bringing him back to Los Angeles where he belongs. The fit with our current roster would be absolutely seamless. LeBron and AD have established chemistry that took years to develop. They understand each other's games instinctively, know exactly how to maximize each other's strengths, and have proven they can win championships together. Adding Davis back into the mix alongside our young core would give us arguably the most talented front court in the Western Conference. The defensive versatility alone would be transformative, giving us the ability to switch across multiple positions and protect the rim at an elite level. From Dallas's perspective, trading Davis to the Lakers actually makes tremendous strategic sense beyond just getting value back. It allows them to fully commit to their rebuild around Cooper Flagg without the distraction of trying to remain competitive. It creates massive cap flexibility for them to either absorb bad contracts for draft picks or sign young free agents who fit their new timeline. And it allows them to potentially acquire some combination of young players and future draft capital from Los Angeles that helps accelerate their rebuilding process. The Lakers would need to construct a package that provides Dallas with assets they can use moving forward. That likely means including young players with upside, future draft picks, and potentially expiring contracts that give the Mavericks financial flexibility. The exact details would need to be negotiated carefully, but the framework of a deal is absolutely there if both sides are motivated to get something done. And make no mistake, both franchises have strong incentives to make this work. For the Lakers, bringing back Anthony Davis would be the ultimate validation of our championship window still being wide open. It would signal to the entire league that we're all in on competing for titles while LeBron is still performing at an elite level. It would give us the interior presence we've been missing, the defensive anchor who can change games on that end of the floor, and the co-star who's proven he can handle the pressure of playing for the Lakers in high-stakes situations. This isn't speculation about a player we hope fits our system. This is proven championship chemistry getting reunited. The injury concerns around Davis are legitimate and need to be addressed honestly. He's dealt with various ailments throughout his career, and his durability has been questioned by analysts and fans. But the Lakers' medical staff knows his body better than anyone given his previous time with the organization. They understand what maintenance he needs, what load management protocols work for him, and how to maximize his availability throughout the season. That familiarity actually makes the Lakers one of the few franchises equipped to handle his injury profile effectively. The financial aspect of bringing back Davis would require creative maneuvering given his significant salary, but that's exactly what front offices get paid to figure out. The Lakers have shown willingness to be aggressive in trades when championship opportunities present themselves, and this situation absolutely qualifies as that type of opportunity. We're not talking about taking a chance on an unproven player or hoping someone develops into a star. We're talking about reuniting proven championship pieces who have already demonstrated they can win at the highest level together. The timing of this potential trade aligns perfectly with where the Lakers are as a franchise right now. We're competitive, we're in playoff positioning, and we have LeBron still performing at an incredibly high level. But we've also identified areas where the roster needs upgrading if we want to be legitimate championship contenders rather than just playoff participants. Davis addresses our biggest need, interior presence and elite two-way play, while bringing championship experience and established fit with our best player. That combination is virtually impossible to find through any other avenue. The Western Conference playoff picture this season is incredibly competitive, with multiple teams believing they have legitimate championship aspirations. The Nuggets have Jokic, the Suns have their star trio, the Warriors are retooling, the Clippers are trying to build around their stars. Every contending team is looking for any advantage they can find, any move that pushes them ahead of the competition. Landing Anthony Davis would be that advantage for the Lakers, the move that separates us from the pack and establishes us as legitimate title favorites. The narrative around Davis returning to L.A. would be one of redemption and reunion, of finishing unfinished business and reclaiming championship glory. Fans would embrace him immediately because of the memories from our title run, because of his proven commitment to the Lakers organization, and because everyone recognizes how much better we are with him on the roster. This wouldn't be a controversial acquisition. This would be welcomed universally by Lakers Nation as exactly the type of move we need to make to maximize our championship window. The question isn't whether Davis fits or whether he makes us better. The question is whether the Lakers can construct a package that Dallas finds acceptable and whether Davis himself wants to return to Los Angeles. From everything we know about his previous tenure here, about his relationship with LeBron, and about his affinity for the Lakers organization, there's every reason to believe he'd welcome a return. And if he wants to come back, if the Lakers are motivated to make it happen, then I'm confident our front office will find a way to structure a deal that works for all parties involved. The opportunity window for this trade is relatively narrow given the February deadline, which means decisions will need to be made quickly. The Lakers can't afford to deliberate endlessly or wait to see how other situations develop around the league. If Anthony Davis becomes available, if Dallas is genuinely willing to trade him, then we need to be aggressive and decisive in pursuing him. Championship windows don't stay open indefinitely, and when opportunities like this present themselves, you have to capitalize immediately before circumstances change. I want to be clear about my perspective on this situation because transparency with Lakers Nation is paramount. I believe bringing back Anthony Davis would be one of the most impactful moves the franchise could make. I believe he still has elite basketball left in him despite the injury concerns. I believe his fit with LeBron and our young core would be seamless. And I believe if we can construct a fair trade package that doesn't completely gut our future flexibility, then we should absolutely pursue this aggressively. This is the type of opportunity that could define our championship pursuits for the next several years. The alternative scenario where Davis stays in Dallas or gets traded to another franchise would be disappointing from a Lakers perspective. Watching him contribute to another team's championship run, seeing him thrive in a different system, knowing we had an opportunity to bring him back but didn't capitalize on it, that would be difficult to accept. When legendary players with championship pedigree become available, when they have existing relationships with your franchise, when the fit is obvious and the timing aligns, you have to be willing to take calculated risks to bring them home. So, here's my direct question for every Lakers fan watching this right now. Do you want Anthony Davis back in purple and gold? Are you willing to give up young players and draft picks to reunite him with LeBron for another championship run? And how confident are you that if this trade happens, AD can stay healthy enough to help us compete for a title? Drop your honest opinions in the comments below, because I genuinely want to know where Lakers Nation stands on this monumental decision. The reality is that Anthony Davis returning to the Lakers would be one of the biggest stories of the entire NBA season. It would shift championship odds immediately, change the narrative around our franchise trajectory, and give us the co-star presence we've been searching for to maximize LeBron's remaining elite years. The situation in Dallas has created a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I'm optimistic our front office recognizes the magnitude of what's at stake here. If we can bring AD home, if we can reunite championship pieces and make a genuine run at another title, then we'll look back at this moment as the turning point in our season. If you want instant updates on every development in this Anthony Davis situation, if you want comprehensive analysis of potential trade packages and implications for our roster, if you want to stay ahead of every Lakers storyline as it unfolds, then you absolutely need to be subscribed to Lakers News Fan Report. I'll bring you breaking news the second it happens, detailed evaluation of how trades impact our championship chances, and insider perspectives on front office decision-making. Smash that subscribe button right now, hit the like button on this video, and turn on notifications so you never miss critical Lakers updates. Let's bring AD home and go win another championship, Lakers Nation.